Hi everyone, it's Jenny from A Stamping Journey. Thanks for joining me. I have another card for you today. Today's card is made using the recessed panel technique. You might have seen this around. Perhaps you've tried it before. I thought we'd have a look at how to create it, but I've got some variations. So stay to the end to make sure that you can check the other ideas of using this technique. Just a reminder, if you're in Australia, any of the products that you see are available in my store. The link is in the description, or if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, you can catch them on the page. If you have a lot on your wish list, have you noticed the Join Plus this month? It is amazing value. You get so much more in your kit. So when you join, in fact, in Australia, you get $114 of free products. That is amazing. So for $169, you get $283 of Stampin' Up! Products of any of your choice. How great is that? So many people have taken advantage of this already. So not only are they getting that great value, but they are a part of a fun community of crafters just like you. And I'd love to welcome you to my GenZinc team. So I have all the details on my YouTube and on my page as well. So if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, give it a like, give it a thumbs up as you go. So let's get to the project, the recessed panel technique. It's such a fun, and it's a great way of highlighting some pretty papers. I've used the pansy petal papers for this one. On the version I'm going to make, I've chosen a different print. I think this is going to look really striking. So let's have a look. You'll need a base card. I'm not going to give you the exact measurements for all of the cuts because you can create it in any way you like. But your standard base card in metric, that's 21 centimeters by 14.8. You'll score it at 10.5. Or in imperial, it is 8.5 by 5.5, scoring at 4.25. Your mat's slightly smaller. I've done 10.1 by 14.4, or it's 4 1/8 and 5 3/8. But you can make this any size. You can make it in a square card. You can make it however you like. So what we're going to do first, you will need to cut your shape in your card. I've gone with this one with the curved shape. So I'm using the basic borders die. Have you seen these dies? I love them. So many different shapes. You have the zigzags, the little scallop edge, an angle edge, the clouds, but I'm going to use this particular, the curved one. What we're going to do with your die cut machine, you're going to make 2 cuts. So I am going to just place your curve die in your card. It'll just hang off either end, but you want to just add a little cut in there. Then once I've cut that, I'm going to move it and make a second cut. So I'm just going to go to my die cut machine and run that through for you, and I'll be back within a moment. Okay, now I have cut that already. So we've got our pieces that I've cut. You won't need this center section, so we'll get rid of that. This is what you end up with. I've just added the die, cut it, and then I've moved the die and cut another section out. We're going to then, I decided to emboss this top part just to add a little more texture. You can use any embossing folder you like. I have gone with the Textiles embossing folder. So just add that to inside your folder. And we're just going to run that through your machine. All right, we've done that embossing. Let's have a look. I love when you open a folder and think, oh, wow, you've got that texture. Let's have a look. Isn't it beautiful? Can you actually see that? It's just got some gentle textile, that's what it is. Isn't it lovely? All right. So we want to adhere our piece of designer series paper. I have cut that to the same size as I did that other white piece. So you're just slightly smaller than your base card. I just found it's easy because it's hard to actually tell where your paper will line when you've got that curve. If you didn't want to waste so much paper, you could sort of have a piece about that size, but it's a bit hard to work that one out. So I went the full piece. Run that with your adhesive. All right, let's get this the right way. Stick that down. Now, it's a recessed panel because you have the lower part of your card, lower section is lower, it's recessed. I've got the upper layers which are raised up with your dimensionals. So that's what we're going to be doing. First, I want to stamp the sentiment. On our card earlier, I did the I'm so happy to celebrate these moments with you. This is from the Many Messages stamp set. I've chosen another stamp for this one, just a card to say hello. I love to send out cards just because, just to cheer someone up, just to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. So we're going to use the memento for that. And just put that down in the corner of your card. So you'll get your dimensionals. I think because it's a large area, I go for the larger ones. Just add a few around. If you've got the dimensional strips, they would work well because then you get a thin line of it. Make sure you add some to the center too because you don't want that popping down. The big thing is getting all these little things off. So that just takes a little minute. And you want to put some on there. For those smaller areas, you can use your mini ones. So I'll get some of those too. It's good we've got the different sizes now. All right. All right, now we'll put this one. So to line it up, oh, it's stuck there. Let's move that out of the way. I'm just going to line that. You can hopefully see that. Line it up on the bottom edge of the paper of your pretty pattern. Isn't it such a beautiful print? I love the colors in it. Then you can add this top part. So this is being raised up off the card. Now, of course, you could leave it like that, but like I've done on here, I've done a little flower. This is with the Pierced Blooms dies. I've just discovered these dies. How great are they? So many different stitched effect flowers and leaves. You've got a little bow. You've got a frame for your sentiment too. So I've just used one of the leaves, this leaf, and a flower. So I already cut those out. This is using the lovely new in colours, which is the polished pink and soft succulent. So just going to add a little blue there. And tuck that in. We'll let that dry for a minute. And then what you do is you can just curl up these leaves and curl in the petals. If you wanted to, you can just go that little extra step, get a bit of a sponge, a bit of ink, and dauber around with the pink around there, and with that leaf add some soft succulent. That'll just add an extra depth to your flower. So we'll add a dimensional on the back. Let's put one on our leaf as well. And position that on our card however you want. Let's put it that way, shall we? Give it a little curl up a bit more. And I wanted to add some bling to the center. Let's use the sparkly opal rounds. So you can just add one to your center. There you go, just a card to say hello. So this is your recessed panel cards using a curve, but I'll show you a couple of others that I've made. So we'll just put those aside for a minute. Now you can choose to actually cut a straight line. You might cut a straight line across like we did the curve, but this one I've just cut down the center using the pretty hand pen designer series paper. That's really really gorgeous, and I love the Highland Heather I've used on that. Just a simple thick white card base again, but you could go using the designer paper for the top layer and using this white as your recessed section. So for this one I cut a piece of white for the front of your card, and I cut the papers at an angle for a section and just added some strips of card underneath to highlight it. Before you just lay it down on your card before you stick it down, so you can stamp your sentiment so you know where to line it up. So, and I added some white twine. So just a simple way, but using the opposite of having your paper on it. So we have a few variations of your recessed panel, and there's so many others. So I hope you like these cards and the technique. I hope you give it a go. Great way of highlighting your pretty papers. Remember to subscribe or to like or share the video if you like it. And I'll look forward to bringing some more videos back with you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.